Hi, Coalition Tree Whisperer here, Greg Hunt.
Be that as it may, he's used his powers to whisper some very abusive things to me in the past, and I've had no choice but to be stoic about it!
The reason I'm out in the wilderness today, getting a rash and using my good friend Hans here as a maypole is because I've achieved something that will be the pinnacle of my public career. Nothing. Huzzah! Yeah, I know, my legacy of direct action lives on. Where I'm giving you, in exchange for a habitable planet, 20 cents a day in power savings, and we won the election on that. Clever country.
Sure, you're a champ of the people, Greg, but just out of curiosity, what's the name of the animal on this again?
It's a platypus, mate. It's kind of like Psyduck from Pokemon.
Yeah, but with an Aussie twist. Yeah.
Good on you for thinking about something bigger than the global climate. You gaining enough to buy 4 McDonald's soft serve cones a week.
Monday to Thursday are my happy days.
Exactly, it's really simple economics, and that's why you should ask a bogan instead of an actual economist, and they'll tell you.
Okay, Brad, listen, it's really simple. Like, the carbon tax wouldn't work because the energy companies just would have put the prices down to you and me, the consumer. It's like a massive conspiracy, man. It's kind of, you know how the lunar module went into the 9/11 towers, Brad? It's bigger than that. It's huge.
Well said, Carl. Obviously, you don't need a carbon tax. What you need is billions of your tax dollars taken out of services, which you don't need for anything. What did you eat last night?
A garden gnome that I caught in an alley that was begging.
I'm almost a person.
See, you don't need schools. You've already learned how to forage.
Victimless crime.
No, rather than not take a single dime of yours under Labor's carbon tax policy, let's instead take billions of your dollars and give them to some of the richest companies on the planet for a result that will ultimately get dwarfed by the new sources of greenhouse gas emissions.
Yeah, it just seems fair, honest battlers.
Especially when the World Bank, the institution that gives out unrepayable loan schemes to corrupt third world dictators so that country is enslaved in a perpetual cycle of worsening debt for the benefit of a couple of bankers in New York.
Those hippies. Yeah, okay, I'll bite. What has the World Bank got to say?
Oh, just that a carbon price is essential to establish the right incentives to direct financial flows away from carbon-intensive growth to low-carbon investments, meaning that
No one on the planet agrees with you!
even Greg, who in university wrote his thesis about why taxing polluters is a good idea, and therefore, not even Greg Hunt agrees with Greg Hunt.
Whoa, psychedelic, man.
Quick! Someone get some Hendrix tunes on, man. Greg is tripping out. Guys, it's fine. I'm not tripping. I'm just a terrible person. All right, Greg, I know this is a cliche expression, but honestly, how do you sleep at night? Oh, I sit at home and convince myself that I'm a responsible economic manager.
Because that's all Mr. Hunt ever seems to discuss as the Federal Minister for the Environment.
Economic matters. In fact, lamer than that, bland, nothing economic matters like Scrapbit's family savings. Why hasn't Coles hired me yet for one of those pre-prime time spooks that informs people about? Whiskas single packs, 2 for 99 cents this week at Coles, and that's less than half price, I think. I don't know, I'm reading off the sheet, I didn't check.
Because in the end, is there any difference between that job and squawking?
The carbon tax costs families $550 a year. That's a lot of $1 scratchies. Can't figure out the maths for now. I'll get back to you when I do.
A figure which Mr. Hunt has repeated in every public appearance he made in his first 7 months in office, and in that same period of time mentioned climate change 4 times. So in essence, you're paying a key governmental figure to play make-believe.
Today, I'm pretending to be a housewife that's on a tight budget.
Nice choice for dressies, because that appears to be the Liberal Party's level of understanding when it comes to economics.
Yeah, well, that's what all macroeconomics boils down to, doesn't it? A house budget.
No need to listen to the words of internationally recognised economist Justin Wolfers, who stated that direct action doesn't effectively harness market forces.
Market forces? I don't know what that is. House budget.
And then goes on to state that all direct action is the government handing out checks.
Exactly. Just like when you put some money aside for an electricity bill in a house budget. It may not be glamorous work, but, you know, it's called being an adult.
Prioritising a spending splurge at target over the global climate. Grona. Especially when in the opinion of almost every prominent university and business economist in the country, bar 2 which have obvious connections to the Liberal Party, direct action is more of an economic disruption for less of an environmental payoff.
Oh, I'm not even good at my make-believe job.
Yeah, you are. For the cost of what adds up to be negative $10 billion from the National Treasury of what we would have had under Labor's plan.
And now there's an imaginary budget crisis, and I don't understand why.
Me neither.
It's probably Labor's fault.
Emissions are now projected to decrease by 40% less than they would have under the carbon tax, and not even reach the ridiculously low emissions reduction target of 5% by 2020.
Well, because to do that would cost an extra $4 billion more than we've already sucked out of the Treasury, so, you know, I'm not gonna waste money here.
No, as members of a fiscally conservative party, direct action's the way to go, guys. A policy that no one agrees with, even myself. But you know, that Cole Spruker ad hasn't opened up yet, so you gotta do what you gotta do to earn a crust, am I right?
The Liberal Party on climate change. Even if you look at it monetarily, they're only 14 billion times worse on the issue than Labour. Splitting hairs.
Please press the subscribe button now. Come on.